This video is inspired by Wizz Air, and I want to talk to us about budget airlines, low-cost budget airlines. As with anything, you get what you pay for. That is actually my lesson learned. I should have known. Anyway, okay, so let me explain to you. Wizz Airline, I came across them as I was shopping around for me and my sister's holiday. This was going to be our first holiday as sisters, 4 of us going to Marrakesh, and of course money is important. And so thought, okay, cool, let's mix it up. We'll do Wizz Airline going there and then coming back with British Airways. That was like what was offered on when you search on Google Flights. Google Flights, by the way, shout out to Google. They are use Google Flights to search for your flight, because that whole thing they're doing over there makes too much sense. Anyway, I thought Wizz is new. I thought Wizz has just whizzed, into the airline business, but they have been established since I think it's 2002. I think it is. So they've been in the business. Obviously, their competitors are other, like Ryanair, for example. I've only flown Ryanair once in my life, and that's when I was just like, wow. So things like this exist. Okay. It ends up being very expensive, basically, and the error was on me. The error was on us, because we assumed that as an aeroplane, when you say hand luggage, it includes hand luggage, and it doesn't count just backpacks. But if you want to add a suitcase, it's extra. It's mad. It was just the money we paid. We were better off flying with British Airways, going and coming. On this one, the first leg was to Marrakesh, and that was with Wizz Air. And then coming back, it was with British Airways. It was the combo that we were offered through Google Flights, and it was within our budget, and so we took it. But the thing is, I'm making this video to just emphasize that it sounds like duh, but honestly, if you're considering booking any of these cheap airlines, number one thing to note: nothing is included in that price that you're seeing. Absolutely nothing. Your water, your luggage, checking in is not included in that price. If you want to check in at the airport, you pay. Okay, let me read out the things that you will most likely have to pay for if you want them. If you want food, you have to pay on flight. That happens on Ryanair. I don't know if EasyJet does it as well, but yeah, okay. If you want to select your seat, so for us it was important because it was our first time going on a holiday as sisters, and my sisters are really young, so I really wanted them to have a nice experience. But obviously budget, I was conscious of my budget. I didn't want to, so I thought, okay, let me check in on time online. Mind you, they warn you, they send you very aggressive emails telling you if you do not check in online, you will be charged for checking in at the airport. Imagine that. But anyway, okay, cool. So checked in, no problem. Mind you, they're also very aggressive about using their app, and personally I'm convinced it's to do with them tracking your data. But anyway, that's my conspiracy theory, that's my assumption, that's my lack of trust in our air systems, government, whatever, technology. Anyway, I digress. So they're very aggressive about that, but I insisted. I just went through the website and just checked in. And so emphasis on, if you do not check in online before you travel, you will be charged to check in at the airport. If you want to select a seat, you will be charged. Obviously, the seats, depending on where they are, depending on the leg room, they have various costs. And if you don't want to be charged for a seat, you have to wait until they allocate you a seat on the day after everyone else has checked in, I guess. And so the chances of you guys being split up is high. Obviously, if you're traveling alone or somebody you don't like and you don't want to sit next to them, you don't have to select a seat. You can just leave them to do it for you. I paid £5 for 2 bottles of water on that flight. So God forbid you get thirsty, have £5 to spare, or £2.50. Of course they take card. So pay in advance for flight tickets, you get better deals that way. Okay, turn on the Google tracker so that it notifies you when there's low tickets available to book, which is what we did, and it works really well. The only thing is, obviously, the price we paid, which was £140.76 for 4 passengers to fly to Marrakesh, one way to Marrakesh, through Wizz Air. At the time of booking, I thought it included hand luggage. And so our plan was that we don't check in, we just use our hand luggages and we pack everything we need. After all, we're going for a short time. Everybody puts their liquids under 100 ml, etc. So we were just planning to use that. But the mistake we made is, so there's 3 categories. I assumed a hand luggage is the little carry-on. As long as it's small and it's within the dimensions, we're good. But no, with Wizz Air, there's a backpack and then there's a carry-on hand luggage with wheels. And so obviously your laptop and your handbag is also separate, or it's included. I can't remember. I'll add it once I've checked. But I had a backpack and my stuff fit in the backpack and it was all good. And then my shoes were in some of my sister's bag, carry-on with wheels bag. And so the plan was they would just roll into the plane with those. And so you get your boarding passes, you just go straight. As soon as you get to the airport, you go straight through security. Anyway, that's what we did at Gatwick. And so when you're getting in now, when you're about to board the flight, that's when they start checking things. And that's when they, you have no other option but to pay. And in total, in bag fees, we ended up paying £162 for each bag to get onto the flight. And so what we thought was cost effective basically was not. And coupled with the £64 to select our seats to be put together, basically £364 total for the 4 of us to fly to Marrakesh, when it should have or could have been 104. Like, that's mad. Well, I'm not even talking to you about the little itty bitty things we bought in the airport, because faffing around, the £5 water on the. Basically, I'm making this video to say that these budget airlines, they're not really budget airlines. And actually, this Wizz, their branding is not low cost. Their branding is ultra low cost. And I'm so sorry. I don't believe that this is a low cost selection or option for you. I think not only will you pay more for things that really should be included, not pay more, but you will end up paying, because how are you traveling and all you have is a backpack? If it is the case, then boom, there you go. But the quality of service you're going to get as well is going to be questionable. It's going to be frustrating. Ultimately, you're just better off waiting until you've got the money to pay just a tiny bit more for an established or like a proper airline. British Airways, for example, yes, we paid for food on there coming back. But in terms of luggage, like you just have so much more space. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to fly back with British Airways, because we thought, okay, we'll have a bit more weight to us and probably come back with souvenirs. But ultimately, we would have been better off just booking all of it with British Airways. And so with this idea that we were saving money by going with Wizz Air, it was just a joke. It turned out to be actually more expensive. Not only expensive, but unpleasant. The thing I was trying to avoid for my sisters as their first time flying to go on holiday is exactly really what happened. And you end up just paying to just avoid obviously creating a scene or wasting time or eating into the experience, but ultimately you're not happy. And this is what inspired this video, that be careful with these low cost or ultra low cost airlines. And some of these things, yes, as I said, it was on me. I should have read, I should have been very into the fine print, but no, it shouldn't have to be like that. Yeah, I guess this is more of a rant, but I hope it helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. That's pretty much it for this video. It is part of a series I'm making for my trip to Marrakesh. So if you're considering or you haven't been to Marrakesh, definitely watch it, because it is a place I highly, highly, highly recommend, because it's beautiful, but boy, oh boy, is it wild, wild west. So you need to be prepared, and hence I'm making this series. Yeah. If you like travel content, consider watching my other videos, because they are very insightful, very much goes into the details of budgets and cost analysis for each country that I've been to in Africa. So yeah, consider sticking around and checking them out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.